All right. Imagine getting a cavity right now. The more you brush your teeth every day, the less control you have over the rest of your life. A whole new etiquette is coming out of this. I mean, like, old people kind of become planets we have to orbit around. This is it. This is the death of white men. First, the loneliness epidemic, then the opioid crisis. Touch starvation, I'm not getting touched. That's for damn sure. There's a reason I call the medicine cabinet the pantry. All right? No comedy for you there. But I mean, what else are we supposed to do? Like, I bet homemade fleshlight is a top 10 Google search right now. I guarantee it. Just a bunch of dudes wasting tissues under the covers of their childhood bed. It's really fucked up. It's really fucking sad. Humanity, we need threats. We need threats to stay productive. We get so bored now because in the past we had to be constantly vigilant. Anything could kill you. Now you walk outside, just some things can kill you. Racism, sexism, might as well, right? We replaced a mammoth with a mortgage, and just look what happened. I don't think a single Homo erectus killed himself. Just saying. This right here is our Vietnam War. Give me like 10 years and just watch for the memoirs, all right? I stand by the fact that I think now would be the perfect time for an affair. No one out to see you hand-holding. Honestly, you could cheat on your husband in the middle of the road. What I really want to talk about today is the marathon at the 1904 St. Louis Olympics. I have a tenuous, at best, relationship with both St. Louis and the Olympics. But together, in union, I think they formed something beautiful. And I'll share that with you today. Our mysterious thruplet love child. The first place finisher drove for much of the race. He had intended to drop out and hopped into a car, but realizing he was close to the finish line, he hopped right back out and crossed it the champion he is.
Uber for Andrew?
Oh, yeah.
The second place finisher, just a few minutes behind, was dragged across the line by his trainers. These same trainers denied him water the entire race and only gave him a pseudoscientific cocktail of egg whites and brandy to fuel him on the run. So as he was dragged across, he was nearly dead, and it took 4 nurses and an hour to bring him back to full health. At which point, he was then granted the gold medal when it was found out that the first place finisher had cheated. But the fourth place finisher was a Cuban mailman who had never been a professional runner in his own right, but ran around Cuba fundraising in order to pay for his trip to St. Louis to compete in the Olympics. So he raised all this money, landed in New Orleans, and immediately gambled all of it away. He was able to scrounge up just enough for a train ticket all the way to St. Louis, and when he arrived, he had literally nothing with him. So a fellow runner cut off his pant leg so he wouldn't be running in pants, and so he ran in his dress shoes and crop pants, which kind of a fucking fit. If it wasn't for the hour-long break he took to chat with spectators, he might well have placed higher than 4th. The number 9 and number 12 finishers were from South Africa. South Africa did not actually send a delegation to compete in the 1904 Olympics. These were students who just happened to be in St. Louis and thought it'd be fun to run, so they represented their country. Number 9 was run about a mile off course by angry dogs, and still, I guess, managed to beat his friend. Yeah, so many of these runners had never competed at all before or run more than like 5 miles, which is amazing. But I think most importantly, the Russian delegation arrived a week late because they were still using the Gregorian calendar. Or sorry, the Julian calendar, when the rest of us had switched over to Gregorian. That's awesome. So that was the 1904 St. Louis Olympics, probably the most sexually charged event prior to World War I. Which brings us to our sponsor today, using your words. It costs nothing to be kind.
Fuck you, Andrew.
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 Fuck you, Andrew. Fuck you, Andrew.
Anyways. Fuck you, Andrew.
To the vote, another chapter you can package and add it to the chronicles of whole. In the process, trying to kick on my addiction, bro. I thought it was a joke, but I really tried to stop an hour ago. The other night, Shawty told me I should.